All right, today we are diving deep into the mind of one of philosophy's most intense and electrifying thinkers, Friedrich Nietzsche. But we're going to do it with a really interesting twist, looking at his work through the lens of a fictional discovery that is just super compelling.
So get this, what if that famous breakdown that silenced him back in 1889, what if that wasn't the end of his story? What if it was actually the prelude to his sharpest, most powerful ideas? That is the wild question we're running with today.
So our guide for this journey is this amazing piece of fiction. It imagines what Nietzsche could have written in his final moments of clarity. It's a trip that takes us from the philosopher who, famously philosophized with a hammer to a creator, an architect trying to build a whole new foundation for humanity after declaring the death of God.
Okay, so to really get Nietzsche's final creative vision, we have to first step into his workshop. This is the place where he took a hammer to our most basic beliefs, and he started with the very idea of, well, you.
This is where things get really wild. Nietzsche basically turns our inner world inside out. He argues that what we think of as our core self, that little voice in your head, that's not the real you. It's just a surface-level tool we developed to talk to each other. Think of it like a public relations department for all our deeper, messy, unconscious drives. Its job is just to present a simple, neat story to the world.
And this critique of the self, it bleeds right into his ideas about morality. Nietzsche says our values really come from two different places. First, there's master morality. This is born from the strong, the noble. They just look at their own qualities, power, pride, excellence, and they say, this is good. But then you have slave morality. It was born from the weak, the oppressed, who couldn't compete. So out of resentment, they flipped the script. They called the masters evil, and they praised their own traits, humility, pity, weakness, as good. And for Nietzsche, that became the dominant morality of the West.
So if all our traditional morality is built on this shaky ground, what's the alternative? Well, Nietzsche proposes this radical shift. Our source calls it naturalistic ethics. The test for any value becomes super simple. Does it make a person or a culture healthier, stronger, more full of life? That's what he calls ascending life. Or does it lead to weakness, sickness, and decay, a descending life? It's that simple.
And here we go. This is where our fictional manuscript truly catches fire, because after clearing away all the rubble of the old values, Nietzsche shifts from demolition man to architect. He's not just tearing things down anymore. He's trying to build something totally new, something that can actually stand up in the face of the abyss he just revealed.
This is the great pivot. He says we have to stop creating values based on abstract reason or just reacting to others. We have to tap into something deeper, the wisdom of our own bodies, our gut feelings, our sense of beauty. The question is no longer, is this morally right, but is this beautiful? Is this strong? Is this a full-throated expression of life? Right at the heart of this new vision is this incredible concept, amor fati, the love of your fate. And listen, this is not just about passively accepting what happens. No, it's an active, passionate embrace of everything. The good, the bad, the absolutely catastrophic. It's about seeing it all as a necessary, vital part of the beautiful, terrifying tapestry of your one and only life. Just let that sink in for a second. Not to wish things were different, not to live in regret, but to love your life in its totality. No edits, no revisions.
And this all leads to his most staggering, most challenging thought experiment, the eternal recurrence. Now, this isn't a physics theory, it's a question. It's a gut check aimed squarely at you. It is the ultimate test of amor fati.
Imagine you're told that you have to live this exact same life down to the tiniest, most mundane detail over and over and over again for eternity. Would that crush you? Or could you stand up and shout, yes, again? For Nietzsche, to be able to genuinely will the eternal return of your own life, well, that's the highest possible affirmation of existence.
Nietzsche's own life may have ended in silence, but man, his ideas were just getting started. They went on this explosive journey through the 20th century. And while our manuscript is a work of fiction, the influence it describes is very, very real. His ideas echoed in the work of some of the most important thinkers who came after him.
The range of his impact is it's unbelievable. I mean, from psychology to feminism to political theory, Nietzsche's tools were picked up and used in ways he probably never could have imagined, often to tear down structures that he himself never really thought to question.
Take his one-time friend, Lou Andrews Salome. She connected his famous idea of the Übermensch, or the overman, to the brand new field of depth psychology.
She saw his idea of self-overcoming as really a psychological process of integrating your unconscious drives, of facing your own inner shadow and making it part of you.
This is so brilliant. The feminist thinker Simone de Beauvoir basically took Nietzsche's toolkit, his method of digging into the history of values, and turned it right back on him. She said, okay, he was great at deconstructing morality, but he totally missed that our ideas about women are also just historical constructions. She used his own weapons to critique the things he took for granted.
And then you've got Michel Foucault, who took Nietzsche's ideas about power and just ran with them. For Foucault, power isn't this thing that a king or a government has. It's more like a network that runs through everything, everywhere. It creates our reality. And here's the kicker. There's no outside to escape to. We can only resist it from within the system.
So all of this brings us to the end of our journey through this imagined final manuscript. But with Nietzsche, an ending is never really a conclusion, is it? It's always a challenge. It's a question left hanging in the air, waiting for you to answer it.
See, in the end, Nietzsche isn't giving us a new set of rules to follow. He's smashing the old rule books to hand us the hammer and chisel ourselves. The goal isn't to just learn what he thought. The goal is to use his ideas as fuel for your own creation, to become the artist, the sculptor of your own life and your own values.
And that's where we're left. In a universe that doesn't hand you a prepackaged meaning, the job of creating it falls to you. You are the artist standing in front of a blank canvas. So the ultimate question Nietzsche leaves us with isn't what he made, it's what will you make?